Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Well, Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we've got your Monday Night Raw recap. Oh boy, hell of a finish there to Monday Night Raw.
Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming at all. So I guess to paraphrase, the short version, Cliff Notes version when it happened. We had a triple threat match main event. Winner got a World Heavyweight Championship title shot. You got CM Punk, LA Knight, yeah. Jey Uso, yeet. Punk gets the win afterwards. The Vision makes their entrance. After Seth Rollins spent several points during the show talking about how great he feels, how awesome it is that they're at the top of the mountain. And then they're celebrating. You get the credits up. You think it's the end of the show. Nope. Braun Breaker spears Seth. Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman shocked at first. And then Braun says to Bronson Reed, essentially, you're going to be with me, you're going to be against me. Bronson decides with Tsunami Seth. And then it was the same for Heyman. Braun says, what's it going to be? You really have no choice, he said. And so the show finished with Braun holding up that World Heavyweight Championship. Heyman raising both their hands, both Braun and Bronson's. Not expecting this whatsoever. There was some reports. You got one here from Body Slam about Seth maybe being potentially actually injured coming out of Crown Jewel.
Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp said that he was spotted wearing a sling.
Yeah.
Post Crown Jewel.
Yeah, there are some social media pictures of Seth with a sling walking around Perth. You know, whether that played into the decision to have the Vision implode tonight. You know, a lot of times we see instances where circumstances have forced WWE, this goes back years, to change things up from a creative standpoint and possibly take things in an interesting direction. So you got Punk as number one contender, but Seth's going to be out for a while. What's the fate of the World Heavyweight Championship? Are they going to vacate it? If he's going to, you know, say he's got a shoulder separation. You know, depending on the severity of it, he could be out for a while.
Yeah, that could take a while, yeah.
You know, and are they going to vacate the title, have, say, Braun versus Punk for the title at maybe Saturday night's main event or something to crown a new champion? I don't know. I guess if nothing else, there's a lot of avenues they could explore and a lot of questions coming out of Raw tonight, which is something that doesn't happen very often. So regardless what motivated it, it's good to see creative being like, all right, how can we get people talking? How can we give people a moment that leads them to want to tune in next week?
Yeah, well, this definitely did it. Obviously, like you said, you know, didn't see this coming. You got to think, unfortunately, it's probably necessity. If Seth was seen, you know, with a sling like this, it'd be great if they would just pop surprises like this on us on a more regular basis. You know, not even necessarily a surprise for the sake of a surprise, but a surprise that, you know, could have some really interesting story ramifications. Sometimes, like you said, also, we're just sort of forced into this situation, or I should say WWE is forced in this situation. Audience, you know, the beneficiaries of cool, interesting surprises based off of unfortunate things. But in this case, you know, them not getting to see their story all the way through is unfortunate, but it did lead to something that last time this happened with Seth Rollins, or the potential, I'm sorry, when he faked the injury that we all, that, you know, that was done very well in terms of a fake job. And then, you know, word got out that it wasn't. They were exploring something interesting from a storyline perspective where, you know, Braun Breaker and all them were like, what does this mean? Are we going to be am I going to be the leader now? How is this going to work out? And now that we actually have what would seem to be an actual injury, I guess, you know, we've got a situation where the Vision is now going to be, you know, for now anyways, a two-man deal with Paul Heyman as their Oracle. A lot of questions up in the air, though. Like you said, I mean, including, you know, the upcoming War Games, the team that had been, you know, rumored to be the situation. I think Dave Meltzer had said it was going to be like what, Seth, Braun, Bronson, and then like Austin Theory and Brock Lesnar as one side of Team War Games. Yeah, I don't know how that kind of resolves itself, or there's a lot of different avenues they can go. They can go to.
You know, part of me at a certain point, was wondering, so when the Vision come to ringside, they take out Jay and LA Knight first, and Punk's in the ring. And I'm like, oh, was this all a huge? It wouldn't make any sense. Was this all a huge, double swerve to begin with, where Heyman aligned with Seth just to set him up? Again, doesn't make any sense. And Punk's ultimately going to lead this new Vision type faction, but obviously probably not going to happen because he ate a spear and he stopped me too. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time someone gets attacked by somebody and then eventually joins or leads that same crew. But the way this was kind of positioned was this is Braun taking over. And I hope they do reference when Seth was out initially leaving Braun and Bronson apparently in the dark, and Braun was like, all right, I'm leader now. And maybe it's a situation like we saw in the Bloodline, where once Roman showed even a shred of kind of weakness or vulnerability, Solo lost all respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's something comparable here, where once Seth showed any doubts, showed any vulnerability, same thing with Braun. He's like, no, I'm not following this dude. If he's doubting himself, why should I believe in him? Therefore, my Vision now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the motivation is going to be here. They laid it in really thick in the opening segment, and you could see the look on Braun's face when Seth said, I did this all by myself. I didn't need anybody else. I didn't need anybody in this ring. I just decided to bring them along because I see them as the future of the industry. And you see Braun over there like, the fuck is this guy talking about? Like he is. I'm more than just a tick. I've helped this guy out many times.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his deal is. But so you see what's going on with everybody. And I did appreciate when Seth said, guys, this is the top of the mountain. And then like a minute later, we're going to go even further up. And I'm like, wait a second. No. There's only one top of the mountain.
Well, I suppose, further the mountain is like, then you're flying, levitating.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, I mean, traditionally you can't really climb, but
unless you have a jetpack and then you can like pantomime climbing.
That could be, I feel like, the current stage of jetpack situation is such that you need all of your limbs to figure this thing out. And pantomiming while you're jetpacking might be a bit on the dangerous side.
I mean, maybe we don't know this, but Seth Rollins is an expert in the field of jetpacking.
Or he just watched that one episode of Gemstones.
Or he just watched a Minecraft movie.
Hey, I'm sorry. That shit was pretty funny.
I saw that again recently, and yeah, it was more entertaining the second time.
That movie is a pretty funny movie. It's a pretty entertaining man sandwich.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know exactly what the situation's gonna be. So I guess was the deal? Did Meltzer say something about like Punk versus Seth was supposed to happen at Saturday night's main event?
I think so.
Is that the situation there?
I think so. So I guess
what's more likely? The next world heavyweight champion is going to be CM Punk or it's going to be Braun Breaker?
I guess it depends on how quick they want to move with Braun Breaker as world heavyweight champion, because you could do him winning that title, face probably Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, beat Brock for that title, and there you go. You got yourself a main event caliber wrestler right there.
If I were to guess, it would have been Brock versus Gunther at WrestleMania because of the, I don't know. That was rumored before the Brock stuff happened. But yeah, that would be a hell of a switch up there is, Braun Breaker beats CM Punk, wins the title, and then takes on Brock for his first huge, big program. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, like, especially given that this seemingly, assuming also that this is a story that they've been forced into, that leaves then it's like, okay, well, how do you predict a story that, they're literally having to write kind of on the fly now?
Yeah.
Because the breadcrumbs aren't there. And that's sort of the fun part is when the breadcrumbs are there, it's like, oh, so now we're just sort of left to, well, what could they do? What are the possibilities? Which is still, a fun conversation to have.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I guess looking at it kind of in a broader view, assuming Seth is hurt and he may be out at least long enough that's going to necessitate him dropping or vacating the title. Um, and I wonder if they're going to kind of look into or tell a story of a bit of the parallels now. And obviously, the swerve was different, the betrayal was different. Now, between Roman and Seth, they both faced betrayals at the hands of someone looking to usurp or split up the faction they were a part of. How is that going to play into their story going forward, if it is at all? I don't know. But because here's the thing now, is Seth's going to be gone for a while, especially, having been attacked by Braun, his stable kicking him out. I mean, Seth's going to be a babyface going forward.
Yeah, that's the one thing that makes me think this is not like another Swerve. Number one, why would they do another fake injury angle? Number two, how do you explain he took a tsunami? You can't really fake that. That's silliness. But yeah, he will be a babyface, which makes me think it's probably going to be a while before he comes back, and they'll just deal with that when they get to it. Because that was the main thing. When I first saw this, before I saw the information that this was probably due to a real injury, and I just thought this was part of the story, and they're just trying to mix things up. I'm like, okay, he's going to be a good guy now, and him and Punk are going to go into this match with both of them being baby faces, which is you could totally do because Seth Rollins can be just sort of the same guy with the same amount of arrogance, perhaps, just with this thing he's got going on. It's like, yeah, obviously things are collapsing, but I still hate you with the passion. I'm going to make sure that and then the Vision ends up costing him the title. Punk gets the title. It's like, okay, they pulled the trigger on that pretty early just to mix things up. But now knowing that he's going to be gone, I mean, yeah, I wonder if it's like, well, we know he's going to be gone for at least a little while. He's going to be a babyface when he gets back regardless. So we're not just going to say, oh, he's injured, but he's still kind of the leader of the Vision, and it's putting everybody on hold. That'd be kind of gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the possibility, it'd be a stretch, and again, wouldn't make a ton of sense. Sting MQ here mentions in Twitch chat, says a lot of people think this is mind games by Seth.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, I'm not gonna say it's out of the realm of possibility. If this is like written into it as him taking all this just to come back as leader of the Vision, I'd have to see something to make me think that's a good idea. Yeah, because that's not a good idea. They just did a fake injury angle. It was kind of cheesy.
It was.
And then him, okay, yeah, hey, I'm going to take a tsunami, which has been known to put people out on stretchers.
Yeah, hospitalize people, yeah.
Just to play mind games.
Yeah.
That's, that I don't know. That's just kind of bad writing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, especially so soon after the fake injury thing.
So. And on top of that, it's like, dude, you got the opportunity now for Braun Breaker to break through. Pun intended, I guess, or not intended. I don't know. And that's exciting shit right there. We've been talking about how they have not really built, I rarely agree with a lot of the stuff that I see from those other guys in terms of Brian Alvarez, but he did make a good point today. And this is kind of just tangential to what we're talking about. It was in response. It was a quote tweet from like a clip of Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. Mm-hmm. And he says, I'm paraphrasing. He says, getting old, people saying, oh, these guys are the future. They should be main eventers now, but there's like the old guys kind of in the way and keeping Braun Breaker needs to break through now. Bronson Reed needs to break through now. Yeah. Build these guys now to be main eventers. So I don't know where that leaves Punk in terms of the title picture, because it seemed you and I were both kind of the opinion that this guy was going to head into WrestleMania as the challenger. Now he's the challenger. Do you think the original plan might have been Saturday night's main event, Punk wins there?
Maybe, but I guess so. Maybe they thought the stronger Mania story, or the Mania story they wanted to go with, would be Seth and Roman. Punk could take on somebody else. But I guess if the idea is now Braun versus whoever for the championship, let's say Braun wins it. We always wondered, what's Cody going to do at WrestleMania? Maybe they do Punk and Cody. Maybe it's a situation where they use the World Heavyweight Championship to start building up the next generation of WrestleMania main eventers. And the WWE title, the legacy title, is more or less, all right, this is the established stars title.
It didn't. Hey, didn't I suggested that as like their WCW, WWE's WCW on Netflix like a year ago, and you get all the old guys to fight over that title. So you're saying that the WWE Championship would then be the old guys' title?
I didn't use that verbiage, no.
So you want them to do WCW, rename it?
No, I didn't want to do that. I don't want to do that because you're suggesting like people in their 40s and 50s to be on that show.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
On the low end, that's the floor.
Yeah, no, you want Undertaker to come back to be on.
Honestly, who doesn't? Shawn Michaels, I'm there with that turkey guy from Saudi Arabia. I'm like, dude, that guy's got it right. Older the better. AI, sure. It's 2025, why not? Riyadh season. Can't spell Riyadh without AI, Larson.
It's true.
I think that is true, actually.
It is true. There's an I and an A in there.
That's totally true. Yeah. Look at me.
Look at Steve. He can spell.
Well, maybe not. Did I spell raw down there correctly on the lower? I think I did. But yeah, so I don't know. A lot of questions going forward. We'd like to know your thoughts on it. So be sure to call 1-800. No, we don't have a call-in show. Just leave us the comments below as usual. Before we continue on, Larson, sponsor for the show today. It's just us. It's just us, Oos. Hey, I got some new prints over at mfshophere.com. A lot of you may or may not know. I used to try to publish comic books back in the day. So buy some of that shit at mfshophere.com. Might not know how to spell, but I've been known to be able to wield a pencil to do the drawings here and there.
Not to write so much, but
Right. Correct, I should say. And then, of course, we've got the Predictions Challenge. We've got a 58-man and probably women tie for first place heading into WrestleDream, which gives you guys a great opportunity to steal a win.
Yeah.
Coming in here with WrestleDream, probably at the very least 17 matches on the card.
Indubitably. Good word. I don't know how to spell that one. And then you get the Predictions Challenge, the bonus episodes, which you and I need to do a bonus episode soon, buddy. Oh, that's right, we do.
And then what's it called? Something else as well. Oh, the question threads. You get access to that stuff as well.
Whoa, hold up. So we're the week of WrestleDream. They've already got 8 matches announced for it. We're gonna get 12 probably because they always
the floor
dump a couple extra. Yeah. On the main card.
The Rizzler going to be there this year?
I think
he's huge in the Pacific Northwest, by the way.
I think this show isn't in the Pacific Northwest.
Whenever I think WrestleDream, I would think they're doing in Darby Allin territory.
Oh, it's in St. Louis, man.
St. Louis, yeah.
I think AJ has a match at Full Gear.
Good wrestling crowd, that St. Louis.
That is correct. That you have right.
I'm sorry, who has a match at Full Gear?
Big Boom AJ.
Oh, I thought it was on AJ Styles' retirement tour. That would be wild business. Big Boom AJ? He's got a match.
AJ Styles? Yeah, that'd be huge.
Battle the AJs.
Yeah. Maybe that should be AJ Styles' retirement match, and whoever wins gets to have the AJ name.
Given that Big Boom AJ used to work the Indies like 20 years ago, it's not entirely impossible for him to have had an AJ Styles match at some point.
It's true.
I don't know if he was a main eventer in his local territory or what. In any event, the WrestleDream. We're going to be doing our review live on Monday for that because it's my lovely wife's birthday this weekend. So we're going to go partay. Take her nice steakhouse. I hear there's a place called Outback, Larson, that apparently has got the creme de la creme.
Good luck finding one.
Oh, do they not make are those not around anymore?
I know of one in the area.
Black Angus. What about Black Angus?
Yeah, there's one. There's one nearby.
Yeah.
What about the Sizzler? Come on.
Oh, the Sizzler. Does the Rizzler go to the Sizzler? I don't know,
but the Sizzler, I believe, still has the all-you-can-eat salad bar.
Coughing all over that shit. I ain't doing no salad. No bars for me anymore unless it's one with the spirits. So anyways, we're going to be doing our WrestleDream review this coming Monday.
Week from today.
A week from today, that is correct. But yeah, so, by the way, if you want to get on the Predictions Challenge, all that bullshit that I talked about earlier, click on the patreon.com/Steven Larson. Go to the Friendo Club setup. It's $5 a month. Or you can click join right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. We've got a secondary channel as well, the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. That's where we put a variety of fun content. I think we're going to do a dethroned video either today or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Because...
Well, then we got the blind power rankings that's done. That just needs to go up today.
Oh, that'll go up today. Yes, I will put that one up today. We got some blind power.
Boy,
that's a fun one. I like that one. That's a lot of fun. Who's in the hot seat for that next? Me?
You are.
Yeah.
I already got the topic. I already got what I'm gonna do.
You know what, man? We need like a proper name, the blind tag or something like that for that show, because we got match card game for the other one, right?
You know, did you see the comment that someone said that we'd done that idea before?
Brother, I saw that. I don't fucking remember a minute of that.
No. Play per view?
But I believe that, friendo.
Yeah.
Because we have been doing this so long that we are recycling ideas that we've already done and forgot about.
Yeah.
That's wild. The only thing I remember is Kayfabe Corner.
Yeah, we should bring that back too as its own show.
I'm cool with that. I'm down with that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
We got a lot of mileage out of it, like almost a decade ago. I'm sure we've forgotten everything we've done for it. So
insane that we're still going. Nuts. Really bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go ahead and dive in. Is there anything else that we got to promote, push? Anything else going on? No show tomorrow. We got hot takes on Wednesday, AEW news on Thursday.
SmackDown on Friday. Yeah.
You
doing SmackDown on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Right.
Is it? I wish it was another morning show, but I think they're back here in the good old USA.
They are.
What a drag.
Yeah, lame.
Damn. All the shows need to be in Australia.
I mean, I love the morning to early afternoon wrestling shows.
Theoretically, Drew says, you guys are the Lil Wayne of the wrestling podcast industry. You got to Google your own ideas to see if you've done them.
I guess so.
This is such a bummer because I've read this also. I'm just trying to do something because people are saying Seth's coast-to-coast diving headbutt might be where he got injured.
Yeah.
What a drag.
So it was after that he was kind of nursing his arm.
That sucks because that move was a boss move.
Because he didn't land flat. He did land on his shoulder.
Yeah, that's a lot of
possible
movement.
He could have tore up his AC joint or something like that.
A lot of movement. But Chew World Order says, I remember pay-per-view. Fuck.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, when was that? Gee.
Anybody know what episode, like an episode we did it in, so we could check it out and see if it's literally the same thing?
I don't want to see that. I don't like watching our old stuff. You know, I had an idea to like go back because I went back and I saw the very first time there was any news about the possible creation of AEW.
Yeah.
And originally it was a Jim Ross led promotion. That was the original news. Funded by the son of the Jaguars owner.
I remember too when they first had the logo and we were like, nah, this can't be real.
It looks fake as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks, oh, man. But like I tried to watch it. I'm like, God, I just make myself embarrassed. I never watch my own stuff. Anyways, so Raw, what are we starting with now? We're going to do
we kick
Seth
off
stuff.
The Seth stuff. So the show kicked off with Seth making his way to the ring with the Vision. And he welcomes everybody to the show, and he says, in case you wankers, they got a pop from the crowd, don't know, I'm the crown jewel champion. I'm the world heavyweight champion. He does his catchphrase. Of course, he says, and this is the Vision. This is my vision. He says, tonight is about me. And I want to take a moment to recognize the greatness in the ring, the greatness I have assembled. First, Paul Heyman. A wise man forsaken by his tribal chief, betrayed by his best friend. He says, you came in a moment of need with my vision, and we solidified you as the undisputed GOAT. I'm a blessed man for being in your presence. So then next he turns to Bronson Reed. He says, you could have beaten Roman 6 months ago. You couldn't have beaten Roman 6 months ago, but with my vision, I gave you every bit of knowledge about him. Not only did you beat him, you destroyed him. You are the new tribal chief.
All right.
There we go. And then he says, Perth, I got 2 questions for you. Says, who is the greatest world heavyweight champion of all time? And why is it me? And then he says, while Roman likes to say there are levels to this, at the very moment there's nobody at my level. The difference between me and the other greats of my generation is I haven't needed anyone to get my success. So you notice, I just realized this here. He shouts out Heyman, he shouts out Bronson. There's no direct shout out for Braun Breaker in this.
Well, he did have he did. He went over to him and he said, do the
Oh,
tweak
but that
thing."
was it. It wasn't like, oh, this is what you did and this is how you've elevated your shit. It was just more like, hey, do the thing for me.
Hey, that would be kind of fun if that was Braun Breaker's motivation in that moment.
I know.
He's
What am I,
like,
just
I'm not a
barking
fucking
dog?
catchphrase, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm more than just a twitch.
Yeah. So he says, Roman needed the Shield, the Bloodline. Cody needed me to beat Roman. I never need anybody. I don't need Bronson or Braun or Paul Heyman. I beat Roman and Punk at WrestleMania on my own. I won this title on my own. I trounced Cody with one good arm of my own. I don't need anybody. I have chosen these men in this ring, and they have chosen me because I'm a visionary, revolutionary, greatest to ever do it, Seth freaking Rollins. So later on, they announced, that we got that triple threat for the number one contendership for the World Heavyweight Championship. LA Knight, has an interview backstage with Jackie. She asked him about that match. Says, first of all, I am proud you know how these matches work. But yes, Punk is not my partner.
Jackie was laughing her way through both these interviews.
Yeah.
She was super casual tonight when she was up there interviewing Stephanie Vecchier. She had her hand in her pocket, and I was like, Vince would hate that. And then Raquel and Roxanne come out, and Roxanne's got gum in her mouth, and I'm like, Vince would hate that. Although I think that was more of a Triple H thing. Anyway, I'll take over from here, dude.
All
LA
right.
Knight says, first of all, he says, I'm proud that you know how these matches work, but yeah, Punk's not my partner. He might get himself punched in the mouth and pinned, but whoever I pin, whether it's Jay or Punk, this isn't the number one contendership to me. This is the world title match because whoever wins this, and it's going to be me, is going to go one-on-one with Seth, and of course you'd come in now. And that means CM Punk, he's walking into the frame. And he says, don't waste Jackie's time. And you can hear LA Knight say, it's not a waste of time. She wanted to interview me. It's my time. Yeah. He says, you'll never pin me or become world champion. Last week was cute. You got one over on me. Won't happen again. And he says, except the isness, that is me. I am what is. And that is being the world heavyweight champion. There's nothing you or anyone could do. When I look back here, I think that's where you're headed. Yeah, to the back of the line.
I've never heard isness before.
Neither have I. I'm hoping he got it from something in the 1980s because he's kind of old, and that would be hilarious. I don't know. Hopefully they'll put it on a shirt, though, because it's so cheesy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, agreed.
These guys, if there's any thrown together tag team that I kind of want to see, it's these guys.
Yeah.
It's Punk and LA Knight. I feel like they like each other.
No, it seems that way too. Yeah.
Two guys who don't really seem like they like each other. The Usos, because they're still steaming over Roman. And Jay said, so
Roman
Jimmy
said
started
himself,
talking about Roman, and Jay says, oh, you're still talking about Roman? He said it himself. There's one way to go, his way. All he'd do is look out himself. Maybe we should do the same. Jimmy says, what are you talking about? Jay says, oh, look, I appreciate you going after the vision, but I can't be sticking my neck out for people and make the mistake I made in Paris. I could have been the world heavyweight champion again, but I stuck it out for Roman. And he says, so tonight, and Jimmy says, oh, tonight? I guess I'm my own, huh? Big Jim can't handle Bronson Reed. You know what? You go handle your business. I'm handle mine.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Then we got him, Jim Uso, taking on Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed gets the win here. Jimmy's looking for a Samoan drop because he has the rib tape on after getting speared through the barricade. So he tries a couple times to get the Samoan drop, and this time Bronson flattens him, hits two sentons, heads up for the tsunami, hits it, gets the win afterwards. Braun appears, and he rushes the ring, spears Jimmy. Bronson Reed's back in the ring. He holds Jimmy up, yet another spear, almost. But then Jay's music hits, and he super kicks Bronson, dumps Braun out of the ring, and then Jay clears the ring, helps Jimmy up, and then they start arguing, and then Jay leaves.
Yeah. And then we also had the bit with backstage where Seth really seemed kind of emotional because, obviously this is going to affect a dude if he's legit out, guy like Seth Rollins especially. And he starts being really emotional with him, and he's like, look, Paul, I love you, man. Last 6 months, nothing but smiles. They're nothing compared to the next 6, 12, 18 months. The future is special. Paul, I can feel it. Something big is on the horizon. I don't know when or how, but I feel it. Boys, masterful work as they come in. He says, I'm sick of those Usos. I love you guys, man. I see it in your faces and seeing what you become and all this energy, and I mean this. This is the most incredible weekend of my professional life. Birth of my child. He's power ranking now. He's blind ranking moments in his life.
Yeah.
Birth of my child, number 1. Marry my wife, number 2. And seeing how much Braun and Braun have grown in the last 6 months, some of his proudest moments. So I want to take a minute to let you know this is the mountaintop. This is rarefied air. Breathe it in. Very few men understand what this is. You are here. And he's pointing to the top, the very top. He's already at the top. But then he says the crazy thing is, and this is crazy, we're this close to taking it to the next step, which there's no step above top of mountain.
Unless Seth Rollins can fly or levitate, then there is. He steps off.
But you
and then
don't
he's still
step.
there. Maybe he does it for dramatic effect.
Oh.
He's at the top of the mountain like, look, I'm going to take it to the next level. People are like, no, you're not. You're going to step and fall down this damn mountain.
Right. You're
But
going
then
to
he
tumble down
steps.
like a cartoon character.
But then he steps and doesn't fall.
Oh.
See?
Like First Father in that one movie that we like.
Yeah.
He says, there's absolutely, the fountain, that's the one. He says, there's absolutely no one who can knock me off that mountaintop or jetpack situation.
Or levitation powers.
But little did he know, another natural disaster, not an avalanche, a tsunami is what knocked him off that. But before that, we had number 1 contender match, Jey Uso, CM Punk, LA Knight. They're going at it. LA Knight hits Punk with a BFT. Jay is tossed to the floor. Knight goes for the cover, but Jay's able to grab yank his foot off the pin there. He sends LA Knight into the steps. As Punk is still reeling from the BFT, he is able to get knees up. When Jay hits an Uso splash, Punk calls for a GTS. He gets the GTS, covers, gets the win, and Jay's grills come out of his mouth, and Punk looks at him and goes, yoink, steals his grills.
It's rude.
And then,
beats him and then takes his grills.
Yeah, right. So they are nice, though, but, somebody else's. It's like using somebody else's toothbrush. So Punk is celebrating. Seth's music hits. Braun comes down, spears the living shit out of Jey Uso. I love the ramp spear. It's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And LA Knight starts to stir, and to ensure that he doesn't get involved in this business, he goes around, does a super spear on LA Knight. So Punk is now surrounded. He gets taken out by the Vision spear, and then a tsunami. And then Seth comes in and says, get that guy out of here. We have Paul Levesque, Lee Fitting's name. It's like, oh, okay, cool, right on. This live event maybe has ended. Nah. Braun Breaker spears the living shit out of Seth. Crowd goes fucking nuts. They're like, oh my God, can't believe we're seeing this. And then Breaker looks over at Bronson and he says, and Paul Heyman's like flabbergasted. He's like, oh my gosh. Braun Breaker says, you got a choice to make. You're either with me or you're with him. And then, doesn't take very long to think about this one. He goes, puts Seth into position, hits a tsunami on him. And then Heyman's like, oh my God. And then Breaker goes to Heyman and says, either you're with me or you're against me. Bad news for Heyman. So he makes that choice really quick. Braun Breaker picks up the title. Paul Heyman lifts up both men's arms. Mad Dog Seth Rollins down there on the ground, on the mat rather. And the crowd goes crazy. And then the live event ends.
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm. It was the end of the show.
Yeah.
Elsewhere on Raw, Rhea Ripley had a match against Kairi Sane, so we're backstage. Asuka comes up, and Kairi apologizes, and Asuka says, you need to pay for being dishonorable. Tonight you face Rhea. Because Asuka's mad about Kairi taking the L. We need to remind everyone that I'm in charge. And Kairi, lifts up her hair. There's a huge bruise on her forehead from eating that boot from Rhea.
That was a cool reveal too. This is so well done. Like the acting, everything. Asuka is just, you can't take your eyes off her, man.
Yeah.
She's great.
So Kairi says, shows the bruise and says, I tried to help you at Crown Jewel. And then Asuka slaps Kairi. And so she's stunned. So she has this match against Rhea. It was a really good match too. In the end though, a riptide from Rhea. Rhea gets the win. Io is ringside with Rhea. Yeah, so afterwards, Asuka attacks Io. Rhea takes her out. Then Rhea's clearing off the announce desk. And Kairi attacks with Kendo as she's setting up to hit Asuka with the riptide on the announce desk. And then Asuka hits her with the DDT. So Asuka and Kairi stand tall to end the segment.
Yeah, yeah. I like this story, man. I think it's really strong, and the wrestling's all really good. And they gave this match a ton of time.
They did. They did.
It was really good stuff, and we're building to the moment where Kyrie stands up to Asuka,
Yep.
and you just watch them building this in real time, and it's like, boy, this is getting the crowd where you want the crowd to be.
Yep.
We had a title defense. Dom Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against Penta. I finally paid attention to the commercials this time, and I saw the Penta Click Mobile ad.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, Penta, I've been thinking about Penta Driver. Oh, Penta Finisher. Where no man is the same after being dropped with a Penta Driver. He said Penta's Finisher. Oh, man. So anyways, we've got Penta strutting backstage. Rusev comes up to him and says, it should be me having this match tonight. I already beat you. And little baby boy Dom cheated me. But maybe I'll allow it because I talked to Pierce and he promised me I will face the winner of this match. If it's you, don't think I forget about the kick. Here's some advice. Pray. Penta just says, pendejo, and gives him the taunt. And then he walks away. And then you see Dom, not a care in the world with both of his titles. And he sees Rusev, backs
puts
off,
the brakes on, yeah.
walks away. That was funny. Pendejo.
Yeah, that was funny. So
Penta
then
finisher.
we have the Intercontinental title match, Penta versus Dom. Dom doesn't use the loaded mask this time. Instead, he gets the hammer from the timekeeper table.
This was so creative. I loved this so much.
So he's down on the floor. So Rusev comes down to ringside at one point after Penta hits Dom with a super kick. So Rusev comes down to the ramp. Penta hits him with a tope to take him out. So while that's happening, Dom goes to the floor, down to the floor, to the timekeeper area. He grabs his belt and the hammer.
He
And
throws the belt down to the feet of the timekeeper. So he leaves like that area. Dom grabs the hammer.
Yeah. And then he picks the belt up again. He slides the belt in the ring, so the ref deals with that. And while he's doing that, he hits Penta with the hammer, loads his boot with the hammer, hits the 619, and follows with the frog splash to get the win. Then he goes back down. There's no hammer to ring the bell.
Yeah.
So again, Dom goes over there, and I think that's when he drops the belt, and then puts the hammer back on the table.
No, the dude goes to retrieve the belt. Dom throws the ring hammer back in the seat as the guy has his back turned to give him the belt. Yeah, I love that shit. It is so wildly hilarious, man.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. So then we're backstage later on, and Pierce is asking ref Eddie Orengo for if he can get a medical update on Io and Rhea. So AJ walks up to him and says, Crown Jewel was amazing. Would have been better if I won. But at least I was there with Cena. And Pierce is like, yeah, awesome match. Congrats again. They shake hands. Dom walks up, says, what about my moment? I'm the only double champion around here. And Pierce says, if you're trying to hammer something home, yeah, I saw it. Don't try that again. And Dom plays innocent. So AJ says, talk about fighting champions. How come Finn and JD haven't been defending their tag titles? So how about me and Dragon Lee challenge them for the tag titles? So Pierce books that match next week. It is official.
It is official. You like Judgment Day's chances, AJ and Dragon Lee's chances? Are they going to mix things up a little bit? And
I think Judgment Day will be just fine.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's going to be interesting with the Vision being a two-man crew if the tag titles are beneath them or if they're going to do like their own little mini Golden Prophecy. Let's say Braun Breaker does win the world title and then they both win the tag title so that Bronson Reed has something to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to keep him from being too thirsty for that world title as well. We had more Lyra Valkyria and Bailey, this time facing Judgment Day. They're warming up backstage, about to go out there, and Lyra's like, all right, man, I hope I can trust you, because I don't know what I'm going to get from you, basically. She's like, but this is going to be a one-time thing, and Bailey laughs it off. She says, come on, one-time thing. You're joshing here. What are you talking about? Remember when we did that gauntlet together? It was great. And she just walks off. And so they do the thing, and Lyra seems to have figured out the algorithm for unlocking Mean Bailey. So they're in this match, and then on the outside, Raquel hits Bailey with a boot. And yeah, and then so Lyra breaks up a pin. She sends Bailey back in. Perez goes for a pin on Bailey. Lyra breaks it up, and then sends them out. And then she goes over to Bailey and she slaps her to unlock Mean Bailey. And so Bailey goes on a rampage. She goes out there, takes out Judgment Day, sends Raquel over the barricade, hits a running knee on Perez, rolls her in. Bailey hits an elbow, rose plant, and gets the win over Judgment Day. And her and Lyra celebrate. So, seemingly this is not going to be a one and done thing for Lyra and Bailey.
It doesn't seem like it, even though that's what Lyra kind of seemed to want it to be before the match. So then later on, Jackie's interviewing Stephanie Vecchare on the ramp. She says, I feel blessed because I'm the first ever woman in WWE history to win 4 titles in 1 year. So Raquel and Roxanne come out to the ramp to interrupt her. Raquel says, yeah, congrats, but why are you upset over a title that you never won? So Vecchare says, I know you lost and had a bad night, but that's not my problem. Or never should have won, I think Raquel said. So Roxanne says, I should have been a champion, and I should be Crown Jewel champion because I was the last one to beat Io. And Vecchare says, I don't care who you beat, so maybe you should try and do something about it. So Roxanne says, yes, but on my time. And then Vecchare says, I'll be waiting in the Inferno until then.
Ooh.
That'll be a good match.
In the fire. Yeah.
Some Dawkins, huh?
Yeah, man. That's the only song I know from Dawkins, and it's largely because of the NWA thing.
Oh, it's entirely because of the NWA.
I think I had probably heard that song before. But I knew it much better once the NWA thing happened.
Into the fire.
But yeah, I don't know if I knew that song before. It sounded so familiar. I think I probably heard it here and there in the ether, But
Could
me
be.
not being #1 Dawkins fan, Anyways.
You want to answer some questions?
It's that time of the day, Larson.
is.
Would you like to answer the questions, Mr. Lee?
Sure. Jack Napier.
Anonymous tip. Napier's cleaning out Axis chemicals.
Asked, do you think they should have Becky turn on Seth and lead the Vision?
That's a bit much.
No, Braun's going to be the leader of this.
I would definitely like Becky to approach them and be like, sirs, what in the actual fuck happened here?
Yeah.
I think that could be pretty cool.
Chavon here says, I attended Bound for Glory last night, and I got to say, for a late-minute decision to go, I was very entertained at my first TNA live event. Has there been a wrestling show or another live event where you guys decided to go last minute but had a great time?
Well, kind of with WrestleMania 31. So me and Hilton had bought tickets, and then those sons of bitches at Machinima laid our sorry asses off, and I went into lockdown mode because I'm like, fuck, now I'm broke. And so I was like, hey, guys, I don't think I'm going to go to this because, A, I'm super sad right now, and B, I might sell it to get money back. And then you were like, don't be an asshole. You should go because, number one, it'll take your mind off things. It'll make you happy, and I don't want to sit next to some idiot that you sell your ticket to. You didn't say that last part, but I know that was subtext. And so I was like, fine. And so I had a delightful trip via train to San Jose, and I went, and I was very happy that I went.
See, I was right.
You told me so, sir.
I did. Dylan says here, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that Raw's ending turns out to be a ruse? 2.
I hope
maybe
not. 3. Yeah, 3 probably.
2 or
but
3.
Gosh, I hope not. Dave Matushik says, with Kairi Sane getting her old theme back, will we see the unraveling of more Def Rebel themes being replaced in the coming months? I hope that they spend some of that money, if that's what it takes, and they just look at the slate of what they have, and like what they did with Street Profits. Their new theme just didn't work. So let's go back to the tried and true. And for anybody who has a theme now that's like, honestly, I like Damian Priest's theme kind of, I guess. But like, give him the other side.
Oh, Yeah.
Because that was an awesome theme, even though it was never his, it was his Judgment Days, but still.
Yeah.
Do whatever's coolest, do that.
Or just give Judgment Day back their old theme.
Or do that. Yeah. And give Damian Priest the What was the one he had? That when he was the Archer of Infamy? What?
Oh, yeah. His
that
NXT
went?
theme. Yeah.
The NXT theme, yeah.
Yeah. Cam here says, with Bronson Reed beating Roman, what could WWE do to raise his aura to that of a younger Braun Strowman? Like when he was flipping ambulances and shit. Just have him do cool stuff. Like
Yeah, have him
flipping
do
ambulances.
cool
Like when he
stuff.
beat the hell out of, gosh, who was it? It was Braun.
It was Braun Strowman.
Strowman on the car. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do that.
do stuff like that. He's gotta
Sign
do
the
cool
Big
shit.
Show just so that Bronson Reed can destroy the Big Show.
Yeah.
Well,
Do some creative, cool shit. You'll get over.
I was watching. We were at the bar the other night, getting our load on, and they had the Water Boy up on the screen. And even though I missed the Captain Insano part, that movie, even when it's just on subtitles, that movie was wildly hilarious.
I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing.
What? You didn't see that in theaters back in the day?
No.
Well, don't give me that face, because back then, it wasn't 98. We used to go to the movie theaters all the time, like watch everything that was out.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Mike Riddick here with a super chat says, be cool to see who Braun will add to his version of the group. Maybe former opponents he respects like Trick and Mello, and free up Bronson for the IC title. Yeah, do you see them adding members to this vision?
I don't know. I don't know what Braun's mission statement's going to be. Depends what that is.
It's probably just, I'm the future. I want the championship.
Yeah,
And I'm going to get this tick looked at.
What
I
if
don't
he
know
stops?
what the deal
What if
is.
he stops doing the twitching and stops barking?
I'm not a dog. I'm
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah.
But I do have
right.
a tick.
This might be the question of the day. Alex Foster asks, what are our thoughts on the two Sonatas at King of Pro Wrestling? So I read about it before we started. There was as described in the Reddit thread, I saw a Disco Sonata who came to the ring first, and then, but didn't quite look like Sonata apparently. So there was a second Sonata that made his entrance through the crowd. That was Daft Punk's Sonata. And I guess apparently this Sonata was carrying a guitar. And I can only imagine this in my head. Apparently on the headstock of the guitar got like a plastic bag stuck on there. And so I had to take a break to get it off.
All right.
Sounds amazing.
All right, listen. In this moment, I've made this decision, Larson. I'm already Collision Cowboy, but I'm going to wait till our AEW review to fill you on an AEW stuff.
Which
for
means
Collision.
you didn't watch it this weekend.
God damn it. Do you always have to be like that?
Yes.
But now,
Whoa.
I might have to be New Japan Steve. Because that alone, and then Takeshita won, like, maybe I'll just check in. I'll check in with New Japan. Because that sounds really cool. And I think I still have. So is this like a clone situation?
I don't know. Here, I'm going to email you this picture I found.
I don't even know if I want you to email me the picture. It's
And you
been long enough that, like, since I've watched the New Japan show, might be kind of interesting to just go and see what the fuck is going on over there.
You can determine for yourself.
Okay.
I assume the picture I'm sending you is Disco Sonata and not what was described
I
as
just wish that friggin'
Daft Punk Sonata.
I wish Sonata, we had, what's his face Sonata, like the Giant Gonzalez Sonata.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing? Are you texting this? Emailing?
I emailed it to you.
Email it to me? Okay. In the meantime, we'll just do this. This isn't even a question, and usually I don't even read it if it's not a question, but it is from my favorite friendo name here on the YouTube. And of course, that is CKY Halo, who is a fan of, there you go, CKY and Halo. Let me take a look. And he just, all he what? I did not expect this to be Disco Sonata. I thought it was going to be like a Disco Stew version of Sonata.
Yeah.
This is literally Sonata as Disco Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like him.
Yeah, it looks like
Does it look like he's wearing a Sonata mask?
Yeah, there's just something that it's not like 100% Sonata.
I'm checking out I'm sold. They have sold me on New Japan.
Okay.
I wanted weird back in New Japan, and this shit's weird.
It is.
I'm down. Yeah, CKY Halo simply says, what a ending. He didn't even say what an ending. He says, what a ending. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Ronan the Analyst. Oh, what a great one. I don't know if there's enough of these to do a blind rank, but he says power rank the best WWE post credit moments. Number one, still DIY.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if we're including NXT, then it's that. Yeah.
DIY. God, what are some of the other ones out there?
There's at least one more around.
Yeah, there's been
like after the DIY one. I'm trying to remember what it was.
If you guys can load some post credit moments in the chat,
Yeah,
that would be helpful.
Diehard Homer says, should the culmination of Jay's story be Roman conquering the monster he created, even though Roman has shown no signs of remorse?
No, Jay should retire Roman. That'd be amazing.
That would be.
Or
to finish his evolution as tribal chief.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's see here.
Edward Munoz here says, I heard the national anthem was booed pretty hard in Perth, considering what the world thinks of us right now. It made me think, would top 10 clueless WWE moments be a good idea for a count out?
Well, I mean, look, let's be honest. I think the Australian crowd was simply replicating Roman Reigns before a spear. They're going, boo, ah. That, right? That had to have been it. No?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Was he saying, oh, my opponent is Bronson Reed?
Oh, Punk's return at Survivor Series. That was after the credit.
Oh, that's a big one.
That is pretty huge.
That's a big one. Yeah. King Trippy says, if Stephanie Vaquer lives in Inferno, where do the other champions live?
All right. Seth lives at Bloomingdale's.
Okay. All right.
Because of his wardrobe, he's got
the right. Yeah.
fancy wardrobe. So
yeah, okay. Not like a Neiman Marcus?
Or any of the high-end department stores.
I don't know what like high end. What's like the highest? What is the highest end?
Is Saks Fifth Avenue still a thing?
Is that a thing?
I don't know if that's still a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, all right.
There's Nordstrom.
Becky Lynch also.
Yeah. In Nordstrom, I don't think it's quite to the same level as those stores. But
what about Dom Mysterio? He's at a GameStop.
All right.
He loves his video games.
He does.
About Finn Balor and JD McDonough.
I mean, this seems like they just kind of live in the Judgment Day clubhouse.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
What about Cody? He lost his bus, right?
Yeah, he's or the Wheatley Distillery. I think that's where he lives.
And then about Sami Zayn.
God, I don't know. Where does Sammy live? Like an alleyway. He looks like he lives in an alleyway somewhere.
What about the Wyatt Six? Like a VHS store?
Trap house. Some fucking nasty ass. Yeah, I was watching have you watched Task on HBO?
No, is it any good?
I watched the first like half of it yesterday, and then Bam and I went to go get some milkshakes. And it's one of those shows where it's like it's really well done, well acted, well written, but everybody's a bummer in it, and you could just tell it's going to be a bummer of a show. And I'm like, I got enough bummer things to look at in fiction right now. Sometimes I just want Disco Sonata. Maybe if it was Mark Ruffalo with Disco Sonata starting an FBI task force, that'd be great.
Or if it was Disco Mark Ruffalo plus Daft Punk.
Yes,
Mark Ruffalo.
Sonata. Yeah, or Mark. Yeah, both of them. Yeah,
you
that'd be
get the
good
two
too.
Mark Ruffalos.
Yeah. But it's good so far. Yeah, it's quality stuff. I wonder how much of it is going to be like, oh, why is this guy making that decision?
Yeah, I know. That's so much of TV these days.
Yeah, it really is. It's like a whole genre. It's like a whole genre into itself. It's just people making bad decisions.
Yeah, it's bad decision television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Phantom Driver here says, if we were dogs, what type of dog would we be?
Oh man, a big dumb lab. Because I'm a very loving person, I feel, but I'm also not the smartest one in the room. So that's the kind of labs. I had a black lab before, Turbo, and he was just that. What would you be? Kind of dog is just a bummer.
Yeah, pretty much.
What
Pretty
dog do
much.
you imagine getting up being like, I didn't get enough sleep today?
Yeah, what kind of breed is that? That doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know any dogs would be like bummers.
That's neither like a lazy lap dog nor a high energy dog that needs to like run a lot.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah.
What's a dog that's kind of in between?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, seeing your physique lately, you're like one of them pit bulls that they show, or bulldogs that are like just fucking loked. It's like, what are they giving that dog? Oh my God.
I thought you were gonna say that one picture of the pit bull that reported that they gave steroids to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's exactly
Yeah,
what I was thinking of. And I was always like, oh man, I hope that's Photoshop because that's
yeah, no,
horrible. That's horrible.
Absolutely horrible. Maybe like a beagle.
What, like
Like
Snoopy?
beagles. Yeah.
You're more like one of them dudes in Snoopy, like one of the grown-ups. I feel like
I don't know
those people don't
I
get
don't know
enough
how to
sleep.
take that. That sounds like an insult.
Well, I didn't call you. Who's the dirty guy? Linus?
Pigpen.
Pigpen. I didn't call you Pigpen, so that's good.
I don't
That'd
know
be
why
like
you would.
that'd be like lowest rank what you'd want to be in Peanuts is Pigpen, just wallowing in his own filth.
Yeah, he's got a cloud of filth hovering around him.
Like, where's CPS on that guy's family? His parents at CPS shows up.
Count Dookie here says, "Why did WWE fire Wes Lee but bring back Santos Escobar?"
Dude, why did they fire Wes Lee?
Yeah, that's the head scratching decision. That dude, gosh, he's
That's
like
wild.
from a character standpoint, especially as a face, like one of the most relatable performers they have. He's excellent in the ring.
Yeah.
Like I don't see what they would see as a deficiency in his overall, approach as a pro wrestler. I don't
get it. I don't get it. That dude is stellar across the board. Like,
Unless
he can drop
unless
a good
the thing is
promo.
because he's what, like 5'7", they're like, oh, you're too short.
I mean, it's funny because they have dialed back on that on the
I know.
SmackDown tag division.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought they had dialed back on everybody needing to be 6'2" plus and 240. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but like you haven't seen Fraxium in a while, and I don't know why that is. You haven't seen DIY in a while. I don't know why that is.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Or Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, exactly. Killer Whale Toy says, did you guys see the photo of Cena and his stunt double in Perth? So I thought it was Steve here. No, there's a dude, his stunt double, if that's his legitimate stunt double. Oh my God, it looks exactly like him. It's it's like John Cena and, what's the name? Channing Tatum. Like they made a kid together. Because it has kind of Channing Tatum in his face.
Let's see. Oh, here we go.
But it looks like, and even the body type, like he's sort of like built like, Cena.
Oh, wait, maybe
I would
that's-
be like the Danny DeVito of the group. If we're talking about twins.
Is it that they're both wearing the Cena shirt?
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Gosh, yeah, they're like the same exact height.
Dude, right. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Just the facial structure is a little different.
a little different, little Channing Tatum there.
That's crazy.
I'm just trying to do something. Says if Steve was always interrupting Larson while he was cutting a promo like Seth does Punk. Well, here's the thing. I hate interrupting. What annoying song would play every time? So I'm going to interrupt you with what song am I busting out?
Considering I'm not a fan of his music, probably something by Van Morrison.
Oh yeah.
If you bust out Moondance every time trying
Moondance,
to
yeah.
cut a promo,
Dun,
I'd be irate.
dun, dun, dun. Well, it's a marvelous night for a
Already
promo.
I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry already.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What's the reverse of that? Like, if you're interrupting me, what music can I expect?
I'm trying to think of something you don't like.
I don't know that I would like, although I don't know if I've heard, I think I might have tried it once after you mentioned it, but Lou Reed's Metal Machine music.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be something that would just specifically irritate you. That'd probably irritate everybody. It has to be something that's very specific that you just don't like.
But something that you're in, that's where the weird Venn diagram, I don't know what you like that annoys me.
Yeah.
Those two things. Like, I know what would annoy both of us. Like, I can take a couple stabs at that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like,
Something that I like that you don't. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what that would be. Oh, man, dude, I don't know. Damn, I don't have an answer for that.
What about Golden from the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack?
It's not like I don't dislike it. It's just not like my thing. Like when I watch Rick Beato listen to it, I'm like, yeah, okay, I get why people like this. Like Bama had me play one of them songs.
Yeah.
Soda, does that sound right?
Yeah.
Is there a song called
Soda Pop,
Soda?
yeah.
Soda
Yeah.
Pop?
Soda Pop, yeah.
She had me play that once.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fine. It's fine.
It's catchy. Yeah, it's catchy.
Yeah.
It's a well-constructed pop song.
Yeah, like I don't know what staying power it has. I mean, it is like a phenomenon right now, which I appreciate. But I don't. Do you like Taylor Swift stuff? No. I mean, maybe if you did, maybe something like that. But even that, like I don't know. I've heard some of it. I'm like, it doesn't offend me necessarily. Well, it's a marvelous night for a promo.
All right, it's time to wrap it up if you're going to keep singing.
Neath
Moon
the
Dance.
stars up above in the sky. Diddling, diddling. A fantabulous night to make romance, to make promance. And all the magic seems to whisper.
All right, you're on the verge of getting us demonetized for
diddling.
singing Van Morrison.
Oh, man.
You got 3
copyright
seconds,
strike.
pal.
YouTube's like, this guy sounds dead on like Van the Man. All right,
I
that's
know.
going to do it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.
And all the magic seems to whisper at night.